This video is something that I've wanted to make for some time. I've been playing Persona for the last 6 years of my life. Mostly the only ones I haven't played just yet are Persona 1 and 2, as well as some of the dancing games. The rest though I've rather touched or fully completed. This series is something that I've always seemed to come back to, which led me to my question today. What about Persona is so different from every other JRPG I've ever played? I have played a lot of games growing up. I'm talking hero shooters, strategy games, fighting games, even card games. You name it, I've played it and probably attempted to play it at a competitive level. JRPGs though are my all-time favorites. There's something extremely special about being able to play through a world different from our own with a vast group of characters. Again, I am a massive Persona fan and have been for some time. But before I started to share my love with the series here on YouTube, it was really only Final Fantasy. I have played a lot of other JRPGs growing up, but nothing matched my experiences with the Final Fantasy series. I have played every single mainline title and about 85% of the available spin-off titles. I held Final Fantasy as the best of the best, and nothing came close to that. That was until I played Persona. Quick warning here, this video will have some spoilers. I'll be talking about the broad strokes of the story and underlining meanings, so this may include some of the game's ending aspects, so continue at your own risk. With all that out of the way though, I hope you do enjoy. There's something so different about Persona. For the longest time, I couldn't put my finger on it. Was it the music, the characters, the gameplay? I wasn't really sure, but after spending more time with the series, I realized why I love Persona so much. There will be about 3 overarching topics on why I believe Persona is such a special series and one of the greatest JRPG series of all time. These are my takes like every other video on my channel. This is becoming from my heart and may not be something that may be vastly agreed upon throughout the community, and that's okay. But the major one I want to get out of the way immediately is the bonds that are created with every single Persona game. I consider myself a JRPG head and a massive fan of many titles, but Atlus has such a way of making their characters feel so real. Every time that I play a Persona title and are about to complete it, I get depressed. I thought I was going insane after going through it for the first time, but read online that there are so many other people out there who felt the same way after completing a Persona title. These characters feel so real after spending 100 hours plus, these characters start to feel as almost they're your true friends. I think the calendar system really maximizes this effect. It gives you time not only to spend with these characters, but learn more about them separately from the main plot of the game. It lets the characters who may be shy shine brighter than most of the cast in these personal moments, or maybe the characters who have a hard exterior are actually really soft on the inside. When you have those one-on-one moments, it's not just a blanket cutscene like most JRPGs have. You really get to choose, for the most part, where you want the conversation to go. Depending on how you respond can really affect your relationship with said character. That is such a massive way to have the player maximize the relationship with its favorite party members that other JRPGs just don't do. This opens up so many avenues for characters to choose who's worth spending time with. Atlus even takes it a step further and allows the players to enter romantic relationships with these characters, and allows the player to see fit who is the right fit for the protagonist. That alone has people fighting on who's the best girl. But, as always, for me at least, it'll be Mitsuru or Makoto, so sorry you're wrong. I have a lot of favorite party members from a bunch of different JRPGs, like Red 13 from Final Fantasy VII, Basilio from Metaphor, and Shulk from Xenoblade, and there are plenty of others out there. So yet somehow, Persona characters always steal my heart every single time. I have yet to hate a character from a Persona title. Sure, some can be annoying or not my cup of tea, but I have never hated a character like I do for some other titles. These characters follow such an archetype trend, yet they feel so different at the same time. I feel such a deep connection with each and every one of these characters as the game goes on. I could not sit here with you right now and think of another title that handles their characters like Atlus does. My own mother, who knows I'm a massive Final Fantasy VII fan, was confused why I've gotten a Persona tattoo instead of an FF7 tattoo. If these characters weren't nearly as good as they think they were, I don't think Persona would be a game that I'd be talking about right here with you guys. The Persona series has such a simple core aspect for every single game. You're a high school student who awakens to their supernatural powers, and you share them with your friends in one way or another and begin to save the world from an opposing force. Granted, that is such a base level take, but it's really a simplistic way to share the story. They all follow the same script, yet they all feel so different. Why is that? And this is where my second point kind of comes in. I think it's the way that Atlus tackles everyday issues. Rather it's rebelling against modern day corruption as being a helpless teenager in a real world, or wrestling with the idea of death and having to find a reason to keep pushing and living. These moments in their series feel so real and hit a lot at home. That's because most of them are. Everyday life isn't always sunshine and rainbows, at least not for everybody. Life can be really hard, and sometimes it's easier to close the shade than open a window. Persona shows us to stand tall and fight back no matter how tough the next step may be. Every single title is dealing with real life scenarios. Having the group face such an unfair task at such a young age, yet they never falter. They push back against all odds, even if it doesn't always end up the way they wanted it to. Villains in other JRPGs are always some sort of evildoer, in ways like wanting to ruin the world for their past trauma or an old friend turned foe. Persona handles everyday evil people, but this time, we're able to put an end to their ways. When I made my first video in regards to Persona, I talked to a lot of great people in the comments who were sharing the story with me and how Persona changed their life as well. This series gave people hope and I'm sure some people meaning to life, and that's something special. A lot of games are great adventures, but I don't really think they'll change your everyday life. I have gone through so many different adventures with so many different characters, yet some of them I could have completely forgotten. Not because it wasn't a good game, it just never made an imprint in my heart. Persona has left a mark with every single title I've ever played. This leads me to my final point. The outcomes of these games. The ending of every single Persona title is such an experience within itself. Most other JRPG titles that I've ever played feels like a cliffhanger or that it needed more in the story to make it make sense. Persona has never done that to me yet. I hate that it's always over, but it's never anything that keeps me up at night thinking that they missed the mark. Do I want there to be more at the end of the game? Of course, who doesn't? That's not because the story wasn't finished correctly, it's because the time I'm spending with these characters breaks my heart when it's all over. Persona 3 Reload is the first game to actually make me ugly cry. I mean, I'm a grown man, but this game brought me to my knees. I cried wicked hard watching the ending of Persona 3 Reload, and I still get pretty choked up just talking about it. That's what these games do to me. The outcome always hits so hard at home to me. Persona is a series that has many perks, from its music to its animation. It's something that I feel I was put on this earth to play. Not many games have ever made me feel so confident to come out here and share my feelings with all of you about video games. It's a passion that really ignited this channel. I hope you guys do enjoy. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm gonna try to post every single Wednesday for the foreseeable future. Maybe not on Christmas this Wednesday, unfortunately, as I will have plans. I'll try to have something planned for you guys, but I can't guarantee next Wednesday I'll have something. So if I don't see you then, I hope you guys have a great Christmas and happy holidays and a happy new year. I'd love to know though, what makes Persona such an amazing game for you guys? Let me know how you guys feel in the comments. Again, thank you so much for stopping by and have a great rest of your days. See you later.